and welcome back. We are having a tea time today, and we're having a real tea time. And Marla is here joining us today, my good friend Marla.
Hello.
Now, see, now she's claiming up. Normally, she talks a little bit more than this. Okay, but anyway, so we're having a little bit of a tea tasting, and instead of doing like 11 or 12 or 13 different kinds of teas, which could be a little bit overwhelming, but today we're just going to sample 3 kinds of teas. So today we have, face forward here, this is a Roiba, and this comes from Africa. It's also called red bush tea. Over here we have green chai, and I'll talk about that more in a little bit. Love this tea. This is one of probably my all-time favorite tea. Over here is Kenilworth Estate, and that's a black tea. And of course, we'll talk a little bit more about those in a little bit. But Marla, which tea would you like to start with first?
Let's start with the chai tea.
The green chai?
Yes. Okay.
And because I am not the most excellent pourer-outer of tea, I'm going to use a little cloth just to make sure I don't make a mess all over you. Okay. There we go. All right, now. Marla, if you want sugar in your tea, here's sugar right here for you. I'm going to have the Kenilworth Estate. Actually, yes, let me start with the Kenilworth Estate. So lovely. Okay. Oh my goodness sakes. This Kenilworth, I love this. Well, add it, kiddo.
Okay.
Oh my word, that's so good. What do you think of that?
Have
you had this green chai before?
No.
You haven't had this one?
No. It's pretty good though.
Well, what do you taste when you taste it? What kind of comes out at you at the first notes of it?
I'm not sure.
It's a very different chai.
It is a very different, and the smell is what gets me first. Because when you first put it up to your mouth, you smell the...
That's true, because we probably should, just like you would do a good wine or an olive oil or something like that, you would probably,
I'm really kind of surprised that I like it.
Oh, you do like it?
I do like it.
Oh, wow. But this green chai, you guys, it is. This is different from any chai I've ever had in my life. And this comes from the Spice Merchant in Wichita, Kansas. And the guy who owns and runs that has been doing for years, and his name is Robert. He gets teas and coffees and spices from all over the world. And it's just amazing. And this green chai, which is actually right here, excuse my reach, my darling. This is the tea as it looks right there. Smell that. Isn't that amazing? To me, it's very cardamom forward, which I love. But then you also get hints of vanilla in there and the cinnamon. And
I was going to say you can smell the cinnamon.
Right. Yeah, but it's not overpowering, is it? Not like some chais are so cinnamon forward that to me, I'm like, what if I just wanted cinnamon tea after cinnamon tea, you know? But this one, oh my word, I love that. And now, okay, let's talk a little bit about this Roiba. This Roiba, I have to have another sip of my Kenilworth Estate. Actually, let's talk about this one first, since I'm drinking the Kenilworth. The Kenilworth, thanks, Hen. The Kenilworth Estate, you guys, is kind of like a breakfast tea blend. So you would have like your English breakfast tea or your Irish breakfast tea, Scottish breakfast teas, all of those. English is probably the lighter in the breakfast tea. Scottish is the darkest. In the Kenilworth Estate, it's a little bit lighter than even an English breakfast. It's almost, Kenilworth Estate for me drinks even a little bit like a Darjeeling, where you got those notes of the black and green kind of melding and blending together. I love it. And this is a family favorite, by the way, this Kenilworth Estate. Usually when I bring this one out, my girls are like, oh yes, I will have a cup of that. Yes, please. So that's really a nice tea for kind of after really any time of the day, the Kenilworth, I like it for any time of the day. By the way, before we get to that, the tea that you are drinking, Marla, and I know I told you before, but the tea that you are drinking, the green chai, I actually use this tea, you guys. If you haven't seen the video on the chai tea cookies, make sure you check that out, because these right here I actually made with the green chai tea. Blended that up in the spice grinder and used a couple teaspoons of that in these cookies. And Marla, you
have to try one.
Yes, ma'am, you do. So these are the chai tea cookies.
Very good.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad.
That is very good.
They are a Scottish shortbread style cookie.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that real butter, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know that silky, satiny mouthfeel from all the butter that's in there. If I'm having a rich dessert like that, I love something like the Kenilworth Estate, something with enough astringency where it kind of cuts through that that decadence on your palate that's from the dessert that you're eating. I can tell you about this, Marla. I don't think I told you this before. This has been, shoot, maybe 15 or more years ago, I discovered chai tea. And I had some of the green chai, but I was looking to kind of, branch out a little bit and try a different kind of chai, right? I got a hold of a chai tea from India, and it sounded good, from the box. Of course, I couldn't taste it. It was in the grocery store that I actually got, a really nice grocery store, but nevertheless, they didn't have a sampling available of the tea. So I'm reading the box, and it's talking about, lovely peppery notes and chai spice and warming spices in it. And I thought, that sounds lovely. And so I got the tea home, and it's in these beautiful little filter pouches, the sachets, sealed sachets, and they were this big. Well, I noticed in these sachets, there were whole black peppercorns in there. And I thought, I've never seen that in a chai tea before. And I put it in my cup because I was just going to brew 1 cup. I put it in my cup and I brewed it. And the box, which I had actually read the directions before, it said for a light brew, steep 30 seconds. That should have been my clue right there. For a stronger brew it for, I think 2 to 3 minutes, maybe even longer than that. So I kind of hit it middle of the road. I'm thinking, I'll be safe. I hit it middle of the road. So I picked up my teacup and took a sip of that chai tea, and I thought the pepper was going to take my head off.
Goodness.
It was so peppery, I could not drink it, and I like pepper, but it was so strong, that pepper in there, and I tried that tea several ways. Like, I tried brewing it literally for the 30 seconds and then taking, fishing out the sachet and and I still couldn't drink it. It was so strong. It was so strong. And I thought, well, I'll give it to those people from India, boy. If they can drink this, that is some major spice right there. I guess it goes along with the curries and different things from that part of the world. But I literally just could not drink it brewed that strong. I could tolerate it at about the 30-second brew mark, but it just wasn't a flavor that I enjoyed too much. So I gifted it to somebody who said they loved chais, and I said, well, here you go, but just be careful. You might want to read those directions before you let that thing steep for 5 to 7 minutes.
Well, this is the first time I've ever had chai tea, so because I usually just do the black tea. So
okay.
This is very good.
Well, something that's so cool that I love about the green teas, well, actually several things. One, they're green, so they're lower caffeine, because we know, most people know by now, the green teas are lower on the caffeine end of the spectrum. Your black teas like the Kenilworth, and this is not, as we discussed earlier, this is not as heavy hitter as like a Scottish breakfast tea, okay, on the caffeine scope. So you go like that. With this green chai, you also get the antioxidant benefits from the green tea. You get the antioxidant benefits from all of those spices in there. And you guys can do your own research on it. I'm not going to go into that today. But so many of those spices have been found, like cloves and different spices have been not only found to have antioxidants, they're now known to fight cancer. So I think that is so cool. So, as the great Dr. Oz once said, a cup of green tea is worth an entire serving of vegetables. I love that.
Well, there you go.
Because I drink green tea all the time. So I'm like, oh, I'm having my vegetables. Yay. Yay me. So anyway, so that's one of the wonderful other benefits about the green chai tea, other than just how wonderful it tastes. So why don't we set these cups over here for the moment? And Lindsay has brought us beautiful, aren't these gorgeous?
They are pretty. I like those.
Now this, Marla, this is the Roiba.
Okay.
So this is the one, it comes from Africa. And it actually comes from a plant, not the tea plant. This comes from what is called a broom plant, or it can be also called redbush. So it can be commonly found as redbush tea. Okay, but this is a Roiba. This tea, you guys, is completely herbal. It's completely caffeine free, naturally. So if you're looking for something fully flavored, but no caffeine at all, and something that's not, like fruit forward, this might be the tea for you. What do you think?
I think I like the chai better.
Roiba is not for everyone. It has been a long time since I've had a Roiba, and my mother likes them, and she gifted me with this tea, and I'll show you guys. It's so interesting. Just look at this. Look how red that is.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Isn't that neat? Let me give it a little smell. What sticks out to you when you smell that?
It is very fruity.
It is, yeah. Kind of herbally smelling, fruity, herbally smelling, but yet not
Smells
overpowering.
better than it tastes. I wouldn't mind smelling it.
We'll just put this in a sachet and stick it in our sock drawer.
There you go.
Another benefit of the Roiba, undisclosed from the sellers. You guys might be like me. I don't know, Marla, about you, but I can drink heavy caffeinated tea during the day. But once it starts getting into those evening hours, I kind of like to flip over to a green tea or maybe an herbal that doesn't have any caffeine at all. And so this might be the ticket for that, because it naturally is caffeine free.
Now, see, I don't have a problem with caffeine at all.
Good for you.
So I can drink caffeine at 10 o'clock at night and go to bed.
Wow.
So,
like full-leaded coffee and all that jazz? I know you guys find this absolutely stunningly impossible to believe, but I can literally drink tea all day long. I've been known to do that. I told a couple of friends a few years ago, I had a day off, I wasn't at work, and I had brewed some tea, Marla, and I got up, and this was when I was still on night shift, so it was amazing, that I was like up in the morning. But I was up in the morning, and I was going about, had devotions, and I was starting my day, doing different chores, and I had brewed some different teas. That afternoon, I was going from one room to the other and noticed that I had a teapot in the other room and then a teapot in the room I was going into, and I thought, oh my word, how many teapots do I have going today? I went around the house, you guys, this is no lie. I went around the house and counted up 5 teapots. I had 5 teapots. Some were smaller, some were bigger, some I had fruit teas in with caffeine, some were green teas. I had 5 teapots
Oh my
in
goodness.
one day, and that was even in the afternoon. It wasn't like the day was totally done. And I was like, ooh, I might have overdone it just a teensy bit on the tea today, but it was really good, and I was enjoying it.
There you go.
It was powering me through my chore day. I did better that time. I usually do better once the teapots are minus a cup or 2 of tea. There you go.
I like that.
We paid it, didn't we, guys? When she said I usually drink black tea
Yeah.
at home.
That's good tea.
Another vote, yes, for the Kenilworth estate.
Mm-hmm.
Promises greatness every time. Yes, it does deliver.
That's good.
I know. Isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
That is it. And what I love about the Kenilworth is you still get, like I was saying before, you still get those notes of a good breakfast tea blend, but yet it's not so, oh my word, I've had caffeine, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really, this is a lovely tea for me, even in the evening time, like to serve with a dessert or after dinner tea or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have another cookie, my darling, if you want.
One of these. These are
Yes,
good.
yes. I'm
These
so
are
glad
yum.
you like those. Oh my goodness sakes. You guys, she loves the chai tea cookies. Let me say that again. You guys, she loves the chai tea cookies. Isn't that fantastic? I'm so excited about that. I love that you love those. Mm. You guys, look at, I'm such a good girl. I drank all my Roiba. I am amazed that I actually liked that well to drink all of that. Because, like I said in the past, I have not. And I might join Marla in having one more of those little chai tea cookies because I know, aren't those so good?
Mm-hmm.
And isn't it the perfect accompaniment with tea?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yum. Well, you guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for our little tea tasting today. So glad Marla could join us.
It was good to be here.
Oh my word. So fun to have a visitor when we're having fun tasting teas. Well, you guys give them a try and leave me a comment on that. And also, guys, if you're having trouble finding some of these different kinds of teas, let me know and I will hook you up. All right? Thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next time on Things Tina Does.